is our home. When the storms of life drown you out, when your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope in us. When the winds of change will burn your fields and disasters sing, your life won't give. Remember that there is hope in us. You look out and see every person for themselves. They say we're alone on a sick, dying hill, trashing out problems like plastic don't kill. But every living creature calls this place home. Remember that you're not alone. When the storms of life drown you out and your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope in us. When the winds of change will burn your field and disasters in your life won't give, remember that there is hope in us. They say we're alone on a sick, dying hill, trashing out problems like plastic don't kill. But every living creature calls this place home. Remember that you're not alone. When the storms of life drown you out, when your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope in us. When the winds of change will burn your field and disasters in your life won't give, remember that there is hope in us. When the storms of life drown you out and your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope in us. When the winds of change will burn your field and disasters in your life won't give, remember that there is hope in
Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, found on page 361 of your gray hymnal and on page 65 of your Spanish hymnal. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Ven, alegrate hoy. Ven, alégrate hoy. Ven, alégrate hoy. Es hoy un día muy feliz. Ven, alégrate hoy.
Open your ears to the song.
Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Ven a escuchar la canción.
Ven a escuchar la canción. Ven a escuchar la canción. Es hoy un día muy feliz. Ven, alégrate hoy. Open your hearts, everyone. Open abierto el corazón. Ven abierto el corazón. Ven abierto el corazón. Estoy un día muy feliz. Ven, alégrate hoy.
Don't be afraid of some change.
Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day, and to rejoice and come in.
No tengas miedo a cambiar.
No tengas miedo a cambiar. No tengas miedo a cambiar. Estoy un día muy feliz. Ven, alégrate hoy. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Ven, alégrate hoy. Ven, alégrate hoy. Ven, alégrate hoy. Estoy un día muy feliz. Ven, alégrate hoy. Soy un día muy feliz. Ven, alégrate hoy.
Welcome to the Climate Justice Revival worship service. We are so glad we have entered and come into this place of rejoicing. This morning, we are doing things a little differently. We are joining congregations all over the country for a time of renewal and recommitment at the intersection of the climate crisis and the deep justice commitments of our congregation. Together, we can move past systems and cultures of extraction to usher in a new era with love and justice at the center. We protect what we love. So during this morning's worship, we will be remembering our love for earth, air, fire, and water. We will be tapping into our love for people, especially those first and most impacted by climate disruption. We will be celebrating all of creation and recommitting our care and protection. Let's begin with breath and air. I invite you to just notice your breathing, however easy or labored it may be. Now feel the ground beneath your feet. Give thanks for those gathered around you. And give thanks for air and the earth, always present, supporting all life. Before we move into the service, there are a few announcements we would like to share. We will mention several websites, email addresses, and phone numbers. At the end of the service, we will leave up a slide with all of this information, and it is also available on our website. Community barbecue. We will be hosting an outreach community barbecue here at the church. I believe it's next week, next Saturday. It has snuck up on us. This will coincide with the Doors Open Riverside event on Saturday, October 5th. UUCR will be hosting this free event to invite members of the community to come and get to know us and be in fellowship with them. All are welcome. Our congregation has voted to host this event through donations from our members and friends. This is the last weekend to give before the actual event. Now is the time to fulfill our promise to fund this event with contributions of funds, food, and drink. If you are donating funds, please put your donation for this event in the collection box. We have a special collection box for this barbecue so that it will succeed. And it will be in front of the door at the membership table today. Please, please donate so that we can do this. All donations are requested by October 3rd so that preparations can be made in a timely way. Thank you so much for your support. UUCR is also seeking volunteers and donations of whatever food you can bring for a barbecue. We are expecting about 100 to 150 maybe on the low side. Robert has invited people from the community to show up, and there will be traffic because of the Mission Inn event. So please, 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 we need your help to make this a successful event and to show others what our church is in this community. Once again, all donated items and funds must be in by October 3rd. First Sunday luncheon. Join us next Sunday after the service when the theme will be salads. All contributions will go to the church fund. Election ballot party. Providing people with good information will empower them to make better decisions. UUCR invites you to a pre-election ballot party on Saturday, October 12th. We're not too sure about the time yet. It may change. For right now, it's 3 to 6. I think it's 3 to 6, right? 3 to 6, but that may change and we will let everyone know. Here we will discuss important propositions where the candidates stand on specific issues and make sure we mail in our ballots efficiently and effectively. Refreshments will be served and we hope to see you there. Please come. Now, I believe Dinah Rowe has some announcements to share from the Church Council.
Good morning. As she said, I'm Dinah Rowe and I'm a member of the Church Council. I was looking at the church website with the calendar that has a calendar on it. You can all see this if you go to UUCR and check the calendar. Next Sunday, as you've been informed, next Sunday is the first Sunday lunch. A couple of weeks after that, some of our good chefs in our church are providing a fantastic dinner. They say it's a harvest dinner, and you'll have these flyers are out there. There are some reduced rates, so be sure you check that. See Kate or myself if you haven't paid for your dinner that day. They're requesting we get our reservations in early so that they know how many to prepare for. The meals served at the church are not only fundraisers for our church. You get a nice meal and you get time to socialize with your friends, which is always a good thing to do, sit across and visit. First Sunday lunches are that way. The harvest dinner is going to be that way. The first Sunday in November is a congregational meeting. This is for us all to attend, find out what our Board of Trustees have been doing. Church Council is planning, David, you want to pants out those things, please? Church Council is planning a game night, and Alec is having a book club. We want to do something else besides meals. So you're going to be handed a pencil and a piece of paper. So write down what your preference days or evenings. We can rotate it back and forth. One day it can be afternoons, 1 month it could be afternoons, one day or 1 month it could be in the evenings. We can kind of rotate it. If people work and can't make it in the evening or during the day, they can come in the evening. In addition to what I've told you about, we're planning a Christmas party just prior to Christmas, and that's always a lot of fun. We have a gift exchange and and we can steal gifts back and forth from each other. So that's fun. So you're given a card. So on that card, tell what day you would like to attend a game day, game night, so that we can plan something like that too. Okay. Yes. Yes, put your name on them. Not necessary, but that's a good idea. And we're just trying to pull what their preferences are to have something like that. Any other questions? Thank you. Nick? You could do that. Yeah, we could plan that direction. I hadn't thought about that, but it's a good idea. So if you're going to need a ride, write that on there too. So if you can make it anytime, just write anytime on it. If you cannot make it on Wednesday evening, you can write that down there too. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dinah. Book club. We will be hosting a monthly book club starting in October, led by Alec Peck. This will be the first meeting, but all are welcome to join at any time. Their first book will be The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck, which we have heard excerpts from in sermons before. Meetings will be on the second Monday evening of the month, which is October 14th in October, starting at 6:30 p.m. If you have questions or book suggestions, please see Alec or email worship@uuchurchofriverside.org. The Road Less Traveled.
Yes, that is the right title, and I apologize for the confusion earlier. We can discuss that at the first meeting. Yes, I apologize. That's incorrect. I lied to you.
So
I'll repeat the question. Before I mentioned the sequel to this book, Further Along the Road Less Traveled, which I thought was the one that I had previously read, and I don't know how I got them confused. And so I picked up my copy actually yesterday night, and I started because I got a few copies for the book club. And I realized I didn't recognize any of this stuff. And I'm still happy we can still read that book. I'm sure it's good. But the one that I had in mind was The Road Less Traveled, since every chapter of that book has resonated with me and has always found relevance in parts of my life. So The Road Less Traveled is indeed the book that I was intending. I'm sorry, Karina, that you, but you know, I think that one may also be worth reading. And I'll have several copies of The Road Less Traveled. I have 4 copies that I can share with people who don't have copies.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alec. So this concludes today's announcements, and we will now resume our climate justice service. Throughout religious history, revivals have marked periods of resurgence in people's commitment to their faith traditions. Classic American tent revivals took people out of the 4 walls of the church and into the world. They brought the community together and served as a galvanizing force for the future, often during times of great change or anxiety. In the midst of overlapping climate crises and mounting social injustice, we are in a time of great change and profound anxiety. Taking a note from those who have gone before us, the UUA Climate Justice Revival is meant to be a time to come together and recommit. So as we come into worship, we light the chalice with words by Reverend Megan Foley, Deputy Director for Congregational Life at our Unitarian Universalist Association. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalice, we are doing more than moving a bit of flame from a little stick to our favorite candle. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalices, we are showing what happens when we harness the power of fire. Fire is one of our world's most sacred elements, perhaps because it always causes change. Fire warms and feeds, fire destroys and eliminates. With a bit of attention and care, fire works with us to reveal, to show, and literally to illuminate. Fire helps us to see and to survive. And so fire is an especially sacred symbol today at our Climate Justice Revival because we are in need of change. We are in need of warmth and sustenance, and we need to clear a bright new path for ourselves and our world. May this cup of captured fire be a symbol today of our passion, our care, our brilliance in the face of great need. Like fire, we are powerful. Like fire, we create change. May it be so. Oh, the wick is too short. Fire is reluctant today.
Fire is also a sign of imagination.
All right. So next we will rise and body our spirit to sing one of our favorites, Blue Boat Home, number 1064 in the Teal hymnal. The words will be projected on the screen.
Low below me, I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Blue boat
Climate justice isn't abstract. It starts close to home and impacts people, including all of us and our neighbors. It's not a contest between our commitments to the planet and our commitments to a more just society. In fact, those commitments are one and the same. This congregation is committed to a just world of abundance, care, and love, and that commitment includes funding. Please give generously to the life and work of this beloved Earthling community and our work for climate justice. At our church, Stater Brothers Market gives our church a rebate on Stater grocery cards, which we will have in the church each Sunday. Amazon gift cards are also available. You get the full value, and the church also receives a percentage for free. Please see Dinah Rowe, just raise your hand, or Robert Brown in the church office if you are interested in purchasing the gift cards. We will now collect the offering. Please be as generous as you can.
Please rise in body or spirit for the prayers of the people and the planet. Oh, no, that's right. We got the options. Go ahead.
You can all sit and enjoy the song. This is not one of the ones that we know. Thank you. Sorry.
Down the road, when we look back and wonder if there was more we should have done when we were young. Tell the children that the mess we're living under started when the fuse broke forever.
Okay, now please rise in body or spirit for the prayers of the people and the planet. And if my other readers can join me, come on up, Dave. Dave, come on up. You'll be reading from here. Yeah, he could use that. All right. Fear stifles imagination and limits our capacity for relationships that embrace our beautiful and abundant humanity. Fear creates cynical cycles of supremacy and extractive relationships with each other and our planet. Reimagining together is how we overcome fear. Reimagining together is how we build new relationships and a new era, putting love at the center. Today especially, we put love at the center of our work for climate justice. Please join us in the prayers of the people and the planet. Our congregational response is, let us reimagine a new era together.
Beginning right here in our congregation, we pray for ourselves that we open our hearts to be companions, caring for a hurting world and committing to creating a world of flourishing.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
With reverence for the great web of life and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We commit to all things from exploitation. So we pray for land, ecosystems, all species, the entire natural world.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
We pray for justice for local frontline communities who are impacted first, worst, and longest by climate change and who face systemic oppression.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
In our re-imaging, we gain the capacity to recommit to communities of mutual support, which are the building blocks of the ecosystem mutual survival.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
We look towards each other, people of faith, good conscience, and of spirit, leaning on one another, trusting in the hope we can create together.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
We make right the wrongs of the past, not by ignoring them, but by doing the difficult work of dismantling the oppressive systems and behaviors that feed our illusion of separation. May we live in a way that honors our interdependence and acts in accordance with our interconnections with all people and the planet.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
As we begin in local committed communities of support, we find the strength and courage to widen our circles of concern, resisting hierarchies of value and ideologies of scarcity.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
In our widening and deepening connections, we discover relations in the salt-kissed islands of Kiribati, the solid and frozen ground of Newtok, Alaska, and the life-giving valley of the Rio Guapinol.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
With humility and commitment, we acknowledge our own part in so much harm to our relations: saltwater encroachment, dying permafrost, and the poison refuse of illegal mining.
Let us
Imagine a new era together.
May we set down fear. May our courage to face the intersecting systems of harm lead to the strength to create intersecting practices of love and healing so that all may flourish.
Let us
Imagine a new era together. Reimagining together, we build new relationships. We put love at the center of our climate justice work. And we commit Amen. Satu. Blessed be.
An anthem is a rousing or uplifting song identified with a particular group or cause. For this special denomination-wide climate justice revival, the planning team commissioned an anthem to celebrate not just today, but to carry forward in years to come, identifying our work for climate justice. The talented musicians Leah Morris and Adam Pod have gifted us with the song entitled Part of It. It calls us to choose survival and make an art of it, poetic ways of stating that we are committed to working for a flourishing world. Because our care of the planet and all its creatures is an existential task, their lyrics reflect a sense of urgency, as well as passion, dedication, and joy in the work. The song calls us to curiosity, humility, creativity, and grace. The work does not fall on one person's shoulders alone. Contributions individuals make are part of the solution. We must ground our solutions in community care with love at the center. Let's reimagine together.
There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. We are only part of it. There's the divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark of it. There's the divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark of it. We are only part of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We are a spark. We're a spark of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We are a spark. We're a spark of it. Here as one voice we choose survival, and we start to make an art of it. Now is our moment for revival. We're at the heart of it, and we are only part of it. We are only part of it. We are a part.
Good morning. My name is Adam. I'm the chair of the Social and Environmental Justice Committee, which has put a lot of work into this weekend's revival. I'd really like to thank everybody who was involved. Tinka put on a great workshop yesterday that got us thinking about what we have to offer, what our community needs, and how we can do that. You can see some of the stuff here. When we go out afterwards, check out some of the stuff going on in the hall. It was a great day, and hopefully you stick around for a little bit after service for our final event of the revival, where we talk about what we can do next to make sure that our friends and family members are getting involved. I will be reading they did a contest for sermons for this revival, and I'm going to read one of the contest winning sermons, "A Future Where We Can Thrive" by Andrew Batcher. Again, this is a pre-written sermon. This is not written by me. This is pre-written by Andrew Batcher. Let me get it big enough for me to read here. Our planet is hurting. We know this. Our planet is hurting because of climate change and because of racism, poverty, war. Problems that feel so wrong and overwhelming. There is distress in the interconnected web of life of which we are a part. Part of what brings us here as Unitarian Universalists is to learn how we will carry through this together. This is a holy purpose, a wonderful reason to gather, and I invite all of us to envision a future where together we shine an inspirational beacon for resilience and purpose. Many look at the climate crisis as a political struggle. I believe in some ways the political fight actually distracts us from seeing a deeper truth. We are really in a spiritual struggle to embrace a future where we can thrive. It is a struggle because embracing the future requires letting go of the past. The future is uncertain, and it's hard to let go of what we are used to. As we face bumps in the road, as we face the climate crisis, we don't really know where we are going or how we will get there. We see many bumps in the road. People can be quite skilled at resisting good ideas, and sometimes we come up with shockingly bad ideas. We see this in the embrace among some of fascism. For environmental sustainability, we are often asked to do things we don't know how to do. Separating recyclables is hard enough sometimes, let alone tending my own garden. Sometimes we're asked to give up things we don't want to give up, like air travel. All of this is stressful, and I believe the spiritual stress of change is actually fueling so much of the political divisions we see. But these challenges are not insurmountable, and our shared faith is a source of transformation within us, between us, and beyond us. To live in a thriving future on a thriving planet, we have to step into the unknown, which is overwhelming. But we must do this because our children and our grandchildren don't have a choice. They have no option but to live in the future, and they need elders to move into that future with them. I think a lot about what it must be like to be a child now. I wonder what my youthful preoccupations might have been if climate catastrophe felt so imminent in my formative years. I really like the poet Khalil Gibran, and I'm going to quote his poem that I hear most often on children. He writes, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth." This poem is about children and elders, but I think it could equally be about the future and the past. The future of our children is the arrow which hopefully flies from a stable bow. There is a role for everyone in building the future we long for. I want to broaden our conversation about the climate to be about the future, because I think the future is what we are really concerned about when we talk about climate change. I speak of children to remind us that the future is not some distant abstraction, but a world our people will definitely live into. I also speak of the future because I think it helps us to see two principles that I believe are vitally important for grounding a meaningful conversation about climate change. First, climate change is not really only about the climate. And second, creating a future where we responsibly address climate change will require coalitions who are committed, not just to addressing climate change, but to racial justice, economic justice, gender justice, and more. I'll speak first to the point that climate change is not only about the climate. Climate crises do not exist in a vacuum, independent of racial hierarchy, economic systems, or our struggles to be in community. It's hard to get a job in the middle of a hurricane, or a forest fire, or a global pandemic. If you're getting minimum wage, it's hard to buy vegan or an electric car. Extractive industries like mining often operate in formerly colonized and currently exploited nations. Factories and toxic disposal sites are often placed near communities with majority low-income people of color. Politics doesn't operate on single issues. No politician is going to vote only on the environment. In this interconnected world, it just doesn't make sense for our social justice efforts to be siloed, so that I speak up exclusively about the environment while you speak up exclusively about racism. What we can do is seek out locally the opportunities to contribute to the future we wish to see. In my work in Virginia, where there have been attempts to ban books, we've shown up at school board meetings, held teach-ins on critical race theory, and organized a festival to celebrate banned books and the people who make them. This is work about education, censorship, race, gender, LGBTQIA+ rights, and I believe it also serves environmental justice because it's really about supporting a progressive coalition who cares about the future. It is about the people who will inherit the future, and a sustainable planet must be part of that inheritance. Beyond politics, every day we shape the world with how we travel, what we eat, what we do and don't do. As Unitarian Universalists, it is central to our purpose to ask how we can make space to revere the interconnected web of life of which we are a part. In asking this question, I think it's important to not be prescriptive, but to give each other grace and understanding, because it's generally hard to figure out. What we need to respect the stress we are dealing with. It is hard to let go of the past we are used to, even if we know we must. By showing understanding, we enable each other to succeed. Now, for the second principle of what I believe is necessary to have a meaningful discussion about climate change, we need to build coalitions who are committed not just to environmental sustainability, but to racial justice, economic justice, gender justice, and more. It follows that those who are focused on racial justice, economic justice, and gender justice benefit from building coalitions for environmental sustainability. If climate activism is your passion, you probably also care about access to health care, that people have homes, and that people are not being attacked because of their race, religion, sexual orientation, and gender. And if climate activism is not your passion, you probably still want a livable future on a healthy planet. I believe that all social justice issues are really different lenses on the same goal. It's all about creating a thriving future. For people to thrive, we need a planet that thrives. I believe that also means honoring the species who shaped this planet. Achieving a thriving future requires coalitions that are joined by folks of diverse backgrounds and perspectives who unite around the possibilities that are life-giving and love-nurturing. The potential of a ministerial voice for justice is really found in the vision we can articulate and live by our example. In the world of Unitarian Universalist social justice, we often find ourselves occupied in the business of developing charters and competing over small amounts of funding. What the world really wants is for us to demonstrate how we are a home a haven, an affirming space for inspiring action, and nourishment for the souls who long to shape a thriving future in community. Many of us are here because we have found a rare sort of home. People are yearning for the haven we can provide, far more than those we see within our walls. A future where we can thrive is intersectional. There is no sustainable future in an economy that only values the 1% or the 10%. There is no unified coalition that could revive the planet without the embrace of the diverse cultures of the planet. And every climate activist knows that our future cannot depend solely on climate activists. A legislative victory here and there is not enough to tackle the problems of planetary overshoot. What might be enough are the masses of diverse people embracing sustainable, beloved community. What is our role? How do we get there? It's not an easy or straightforward road, but I think we can make more progress with welcome and gratitude. These holy Unitarian Universalist sanctuaries have raised children, formed friendships, been a spiritual salvation and grounding, provided prophetic voice and a glorious community that human beings seek in our bones. There is so much to honor and celebrate in who we have been in our past. As we look to the future, we can grow on who we have been and become more fully who we wish to be. We can challenge Eurocentric empire and create spaces of true appreciation for the diversity of people, culture, history, language, perspectives, and wisdom that we all can learn from. We can make space for emerging leaders who are committed to a thriving future and represent the diversity that is central to Unitarian Universalist values. We can promote economies that do not force people to live on the edge, barely able to survive. We in our congregations and by our actions can be havens for spiritual growth in a world often chasing the bottom line. We can be a source of welcome and love and a light in the dark. And of course, we cannot do all of this in isolation. We must be in partnership, in coalition to make the world a better place. What we have to offer is our care, our welcome, our commitment to learn, and to support the people who are dedicated to the thriving future that we also believe in. It isn't easy. We can't be done all at once, but we sure can figure out how to do something right and build on what we do right and keep building. We reach a goal, perhaps a green sanctuary goal, and then we build towards the next one. This is holy work. We have something to offer, and the world is thirsty for inspiration. I am grateful for the planet, which is the source of all I see and love. I am grateful for Unitarian Universalism, which has accepted me when others would not. I am grateful for those who raised and guided me, those who will carry on when I am gone, and for everyone near and far who is united in the common cause of liberation. Our potential is magnificent. Let's build a world everyone can celebrate and carry on. Let this be a day of planetary revival. Let tomorrow, next week, and next year be the same. And let you look and to find the faces of friends who will help you on your journey. Because above all, it is important to know you are not alone. All of us live with our challenges, our concerns, and our daily demands that make it easy to get lost in our own heads. Religious community brings us out of our isolation and helps us recognize that we are, in fact, in this together. Let us be together in love and purpose. We are not here to dwell in doom and gloom. We are here to demonstrate a vision for how we can live with love and purpose in the face of the challenges in front of us. We will do this. Together, we will do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Finally, using water as a symbol of renewal, May we all commit to take action to advocate for climate justice. So we'll have Tinka and Rylan, I think it is, go around and pass out water bottles to all of you. This is our fourth element that we are touching on today. May we realize that the availability of clean drinking water is not a privilege to be taken for granted. There are many places around the world who do not enjoy this availability. We ask you, please remember to recycle the empty bottles as well. Thank you. May your hands do the work that must be done. Care for those who need the touch of kindness and create flourishing everywhere. Please now enjoy the song "We Will Rise Together" by Cliff Harden, performed by Darnell White with members of the Community Church of New York Choir.
We will rise together, you and I, rise together hand in hand. Come on, we will rise together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Find a way to justice rising like the sun. We will sing together, you and I, sing together hand in hand. Come on, we will sing together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find a way to justice rising like the sun. We will dance together, you and I, dance together hand in hand. Come on, we will dance together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find a way to justice rising like the sun. Together, you and I, shout together hand in hand. Come on, we will shout together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find a way to justice rising like the sun. To justice rising like the sun.
Knowing how quickly the flame of truth may be extinguished, How easily the chalice of fellowship broken. Let us be vigilant in faith, keep peace in our hearts, and make care for one another the watchword of our lives together. So our light goes out everywhere into the world. Our light goes out everywhere, healing and hope are needed. Let us go in peace to love and serve this world and one another. Amen. Namaste and blessed be. Thank you all for sharing together in this special Climate Justice Revival. We thank the Social and Environmental Justice Chair, Adam Wedeking, and the group for putting it together. And we encourage you to please take this message and thoughts with you out into the world as we individually and collectively renew our commitment to make a positive impact on environmental and social justice. Thank you for being here. The service is now over. Feel free to enjoy coffee and refreshments in the parish hall, but everyone is invited to stay a few minutes after the service to continue our revival with the chair of our Social Environmental Justice Committee, Adam, who will talk to us about relational organizing.